Hello, my friends. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Wherever you are in the world, we're sharing this moment, this conversation. And in this moment, we're leaning into something both challenging and deeply important for every young person and for every adult who cares about them. Teenagers and substances, the hidden crisis. Today, we're talking about the growing and often silent reality of substance use among adolescents: alcohol, vaping, and drugs. It's a complex landscape, and one that so many are navigating quietly, under pressure, and often without support. But this isn't about judgment or fear. It's about empathy. It's about understanding what young people are really facing, and how we can respond with honesty, compassion, and real tools for support. So before we begin, from what country are you watching right now? Let me know in the comments. It's a simple question, but it reminds us we're not alone in this. The lure and the landscape. Adolescence are those years. It's a time when everything feels bigger, more intense, and the world seems to open up with endless possibilities. And, let's be honest, a fair bit of chaos. You're trying to figure out who you are, what you stand for, and where you fit in. Your brain is literally rewiring itself. It's a period of incredible growth, but also incredible vulnerability. And it's precisely during this pivotal time that many young people encounter substances, alcohol, vapes, and drugs, often for the first time. Why adolescents turn to substances? So why do young people, with all their potential and dreams, turn to substances? It's rarely a simple answer. It's almost always a combination of factors, a complex web of influences. One of the most natural human drives, especially in adolescence, is curiosity and experimentation. You know, that feeling of, what's it like? Everyone's talking about it, some people are doing it, and there's a natural urge to explore the unknown. It's a normal part of development to push boundaries, to test limits, to try new things. But when those new things involve substances, the risks are significantly higher. It's like wandering into a dark forest just to see what's there, without a flashlight or a map. Then there's the undeniable force of peer pressure and social acceptance. Imagine being at a party, everyone around you is doing something, and you feel that subtle, or not so subtle, push to join in. The fear of being seen as uncool, of being left out, or of not fitting in can be incredibly powerful. The desire to belong, to be part of the group, can sometimes override common sense. It's not always about direct bullying. Sometimes it's just the quiet, unspoken pressure of wanting to be accepted. And in adolescence, that desire to fit in is often stronger than almost anything else. For many, substance use becomes a coping mechanism. Adolescence is stressful. There's academic pressure, social anxieties, body image issues, relationship drama, family conflicts, and sometimes deeper issues like trauma. When young people lack healthy coping skills, or even when they have them but feel overwhelmed, substances can offer a temporary escape, a way to numb pain, quiet anxiety, or lift depression. It's a dangerous illusion of relief, but in a moment of despair, it can feel like the only way to breathe. We sometimes forget that young people carry heavy burdens, and they don't always know how to put them down safely. Sometimes it's simply escape from reality or boredom. Life can feel monotonous or overwhelming, and substances can promise a temporary thrill, a break from the everyday. They might fill a void when there are limited constructive activities, or when a young person feels disengaged from school or family life. There's also the factor of genetics and family history. If substance use is common in a family, a young person might be genetically predisposed to addiction, and they might also see it as a normal way to cope or socialize. They might have learned behaviors from adults around them without realizing the long-term consequences. And tragically, sometimes it's a simple lack of accurate information or a prevalence of misinformation. Young people might hear that vaping is just water vapor, or that marijuana is harmless, without truly understanding the developing brain or the specific risks associated with adolescent use. Marketing campaigns can be insidious, making substances seem glamorous or cool, while hiding the real dangers, the shifting trends. What's popular? Now, The landscape of substance use is constantly evolving. What was prevalent for one generation might be different for the next, influenced by culture, accessibility, and new products. Right now, one of the most concerning new trends is vaping, or the use of e-cigarettes. These devices deliver nicotine, often in flavored aerosols, and are frequently perceived as safer than traditional cigarettes. The flavors, mango, mint, candy, are specifically designed to appeal to young people, and the sleek, discreet devices make them easy to hide. What many don't realize is that vaping delivers highly addictive nicotine, sometimes in even higher concentrations than traditional cigarettes, leading to rapid nicotine addiction and impacting brain development. It's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Looks harmless, but it's packing a serious punch. Alcohol remains a stubbornly prevalent substance. It's often seen as a social lubricant, deeply embedded in many cultures as a rite of passage. It's relatively easy for adolescents to access, either through older friends or sometimes even within their own homes. The social pressure to drink, especially at parties, is immense, and young people often underestimate the risks of alcohol poisoning or impaired judgment. Marijuana or cannabis use has seen a significant shift, especially in regions where it's been legalized or decriminalized for adults. This has led to a widespread and dangerous perception among young people that it's entirely harmless. They might not understand the difference between adult recreational use and the impact on a developing adolescent brain. Furthermore, cannabis now comes in various forms, including highly potent edibles, sweets, brownies, which can lead to accidental overdose, and concentrates like dabs, which are extremely powerful. Then there's the silent threat of prescription drug misuse. Opioids, painkillers like OxyContin, stimulants like Adderall or Ritalin used as study drugs, and sedatives like Xanax are often readily available in home medicine cabinets. Young people might take them without understanding the profound risks of addiction, overdose, or dangerous interactions with other substances. It's a hidden danger, often right under parents' noses. While less common, other illicit drugs like cocaine, ecstasy, MDMA, or hallucinogens, LSD, mushrooms, are still a risk, often introduced through social circles or at specific events. These carry significant immediate and long-term health risks, including overdose, psychological distress, and long-term mental health issues. Understanding this landscape, why young people turn to substances, and what substances are currently prevalent, is the first crucial step in addressing this growing trend. The immediate and long-term impacts. Now, let's talk about the hard truth. Why is this such a concern? Because the developing adolescent brain and body are incredibly vulnerable to the effects of substances. What might be a minor risk for an adult can have profound, lasting consequences for a young person. Impact on the developing brain. This is perhaps the most critical point. The adolescent brain isn't just a smaller adult brain, it's a brain under construction. Specifically, the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for impulse control, decision-making, planning, and judgment. Basically, all the adulting skills is still developing well into the mid-20s. This is why teenagers are naturally more impulsive, more prone to risky behavior, and less able to foresee long-term consequences. When substances are introduced during this critical period, they interfere with brain development. They can literally alter the pathways, disrupt the delicate balance of neurotransmitters, and make the brain more susceptible to addiction. It's like building a house while the foundation is still wet. Anything you add now is likely to weaken the structure later. Nicotine from vaping. It rewires the brain for addiction, making it incredibly difficult to quit. It also affects attention, learning, and memory development. Imagine trying to focus on homework when your brain is constantly craving its next hit. Alcohol. It can cause long-term problems with memory, learning, and executive function. Binge drinking, in particular, can damage brain cells and reduce brain volume. It's like trying to learn a new language while someone keeps pressing the reset button on your memory. Cannabis. Regular cannabis use during adolescence is linked to reduced cognitive function, memory problems, and decreased motivation. For some, especially those with a predisposition, it can even trigger or worsen serious mental health conditions like psychosis. It's not just chilling out. It's a serious disruption to brain chemistry. Physical health consequences. Beyond the brain, the entire body is impacted. Lung damage. For vapers and smokers, the respiratory system takes a direct hit. Vaping can lead to severe lung injuries, often referred to as e-valley, e-cigarette, or vaping product use-associated lung injury, and long-term respiratory problems. Traditional smoking causes cancer, heart disease, and emphysema. It's literally poisoning your lungs. Liver damage, heart issues. Alcohol abuse, even in short bursts of binge drinking, can cause significant liver damage, inflammation, and increase the risk of heart problems and high blood pressure. Overdose risk. This is a terrifying and immediate danger. Misusing opioids or even excessive alcohol consumption can lead to overdose, where the body shuts down, potentially leading to respiratory arrest, coma, or death. This risk is often higher because adolescents might not know the purity or potency of what they're taking, or they might mix substances, leading to unpredictable and fatal outcomes. Impaired immune system. Chronic substance use can weaken the immune system, making adolescents more susceptible to infections and illnesses. Mental and emotional health consequences. The very reasons young people might turn to substances to cope with stress or anxiety are often exacerbated by the substances themselves. It's a cruel irony. Worsening. Existing mental health conditions. If a young person is already struggling with anxiety, depression, or ADHD, substance use almost always makes these conditions worse. The temporary relief is followed by a rebound of heightened symptoms. Inducing new mental health issues. For some, particularly with cannabis use, it can induce new mental health issues, including paranoia, anxiety disorders, and in vulnerable individuals, even psychosis or schizophrenia. Increased impulsivity, mood swings, irritability. Substance use can destabilize a young person's emotional regulation, leading to unpredictable mood swings, increased irritability, aggression, and highly impulsive behaviors. Impact on self-esteem and identity development. Relying on substances to cope or socialize prevents a young person from developing healthy coping skills and a strong sense of self. It can erode their self-esteem, making them believe they can't function or connect without the substance. It hinders the very journey of self-discovery that is so crucial in adolescence. Social, academic, and legal consequences. The ripples of substance use extend far beyond the individual, impacting every aspect of an adolescent's life. Strained relationships. Secretiveness around substance use, mood swings, and changes in personality can strain relationships with parents, siblings, and friends. Trust erodes, and genuine connection becomes difficult. Decline in academic performance, concentration issues, memory problems, absenteeism, and lack of motivation directly lead to a decline in academic performance. Grades drop, interest in school wanes, and future opportunities can be jeopardized. Legal troubles. Underage consumption of alcohol, possession of illicit drugs, or even vaping in prohibited areas can lead to legal troubles, including fines, arrests, and a criminal record, which can have long-lasting impacts on future education and employment. Risky behaviors. Impaired judgment from substance use significantly increases the likelihood of engaging in risky behaviors, such as unprotected sex, drunk driving, or involvement in dangerous situations, leading to unintended pregnancies, STIs, or serious accidents. It's like turning off your internal GPS in a really confusing maze. The immediate gratification substances offer pales in comparison to the profound and long-lasting negative impacts they can have on a young person's brain, body, mind, and future. Recognizing the signs and starting the conversation. Given the severe risks, it's vital for adults, parents, guardians, teachers, coaches to be aware, vigilant, and ready to act. But it's equally important for young people themselves to understand when they might need help. Warning signs for parents and guardians. Sometimes the changes are subtle, slowly creeping in. Other times they're stark. If you're an adult caring for an adolescent, look out for these warning signs. Remember, one sign alone might not mean substance use, but a cluster of them or significant changes warrant a closer look and a conversation. Behavioral changes. secretiveness and dishonesty, hiding activities, lying about where they've been, avoiding eye contact, sudden mood swings, uncharacteristic irritability, anger, anxiety or depression, changes in friends, suddenly hanging out with a new, perhaps less familiar, group of peers, or withdrawing from old healthy friendships, loss of interest, no longer caring about hobbies, sports or activities they once loved, increased rebelliousness, more frequent rule breaking, defiance or disregard for consequences, physical signs, changes in appearance, neglecting hygiene, unusual smells on breath or clothes, red eyes, dilated pupils, unexplained weight loss or gain, sleep disturbances, sleeping too much or too little, changes in sleep patterns, changes in appetite, sudden increase or decrease in eating habits, unusual odors, smells on clothing or in their room that are unusual, like sweet vapor, smoke. Academic decline, lower grades, a noticeable drop in academic performance, absenteeism or tardiness, skipping school or classes more frequently, lack of motivation, not caring about schoolwork, missing assignments, missing money items, unexplained disappearance of money, valuables, or prescription medications from home. Paraphernalia, finding items like vaping devices, vape pods, rolling papers, pipes, suspicious containers, or unusual lighters. These signs are like alarm bells. They're telling you something significant is happening and it's time to pay attention. How to approach the conversation for adults. Discovering or suspecting substance use in a young person can be incredibly frightening and provoke strong reactions, anger, fear, disappointment. But how you approach the conversation can make all the difference. Creating a safe, non-judgmental space. This is paramount. Don't confront them in an accusatory way. Choose a calm time and place where you won't be interrupted. Start by expressing your concern, not your anger. I've noticed some changes recently, and I'm worried about you. Active listening, empathy. Really listen to what they say, even if it's difficult to hear. Try to understand why they might be using. Is it stress, peer pressure, boredom? Validate their feelings, even if you don't validate the behavior. I hear that you're feeling a lot of pressure at school, and that sounds really tough. Focus on health and safety, not punishment, initially. While consequences are important, the first conversation should prioritize their well-being. My main concern is your health and safety. I want to understand what's happening so we can figure this out together. Make it clear you're on their team. Setting clear boundaries and expectations. Once you've listened, clearly state your expectations and the consequences of continued use. These should be consistent and understood. We need to make sure you're safe, and that means no substances in our home or in your life. If this continues, here's what will happen. Involving professionals. You don't have to handle this alone. Let them know you'll be seeking support from a school counselor, a doctor, or a therapist who can offer guidance and help. This isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of strength and responsible care. For adolescents, recognizing when you need help. If you are a young person listening to this, and some of what we've discussed resonates with you, know that recognizing you might need help is an incredibly brave and powerful first step. It takes immense courage to look inward and admit something is challenging. When use becomes a habit, interferes with daily life. If using a substance has become a regular part of your routine, if you feel like you need it to get through the day, to relax or to socialize, that's a sign. If it's starting to affect your schoolwork, your sports, or your hobbies, things that used to matter to you, then it's time to pay attention. Feeling reliant on the substance. Do you feel anxious if you can't get it? Do you plan your day around it? Do you feel like you can't have fun or deal with stress without it? That feeling of reliance is a warning. Friends act family. Expressing concern. If people who care about you are telling you they're worried, even if you think they don't understand, it's worth listening. They see things you might not. They might be the ones seeing the changes in you most clearly. Negative consequences. Have you gotten into trouble at school? Had arguments with your parents? Done something risky you regret? Experienced health problems? These are your body and your life sending you loud signals that something needs to change. The courage to ask for help. Reaching out is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of immense strength. It's choosing your health, your future, and your well-being over a temporary escape. There are so many people ready to support you. Prevention and support. Building a safety net. The good news is that substance use is preventable, and recovery is absolutely possible. It's about building a strong safety net around young people, equipping them with tools and fostering environments where they can thrive without turning to substances. Strengthening protective factors. Just as there are risk factors that push young people towards substances, there are powerful protective factors that shield them. Strengthening these factors is key to prevention. Strong family bonds and open communication. This is, again, the cornerstone. When adolescents feel genuinely connected to their parents or guardians, when they feel heard, loved, and supported, and when they know they can talk about anything without fear of judgment, they are far less likely to turn to substances to cope. It's about building a foundation of trust, positive peer relationships, and healthy social outlets, encouraging friendships with peers who make positive choices, and providing opportunities for healthy social interaction through clubs, sports, or volunteer work gives young people a sense of belonging and purpose without the need for substances. It's about finding fun and connection that truly nourishes the soul. School engagement and extracurricular activities. When young people feel connected to their school, enjoy learning, and are involved in activities they care about, they are less likely to seek excitement or escape in risky behaviors. A sense of achievement and belonging in healthy pursuits builds self-esteem and direction. Mental health support and coping skills. Equipping adolescents with healthy ways to manage stress, anxiety, and other difficult emotions is crucial. This includes teaching them mindfulness, problem-solving skills, communication techniques, and having access to mental health services when needed. It's like giving them a sturdy emotional toolkit to navigate life's challenges. Accurate education on risks, not just scare tactics, but honest, age-appropriate, and evidence-based education about the real effects of substances on the developing brain and body. When young people truly understand the risks, they are better equipped to make informed choices. Effective prevention strategies, community and school. Beyond individual families, communities and schools play a vital role in creating an environment that supports healthy choices. Evidence-based education programs. Schools need to implement comprehensive, ongoing education programs that don't just lecture, but engage students in critical thinking about substance use, peer pressure, and refusal skills. These programs should be updated regularly to address new trends like vaping. Community awareness campaigns. Public health campaigns can raise awareness among both young people and adults about the dangers of new substances, the signs of use, and where to find help. Limiting access. Strict enforcement of age restrictions for alcohol and tobacco vaping products, and community efforts to secure prescription medications at home can reduce accessibility for adolescents. Promoting alternative activities. Investing in youth centres, sports leagues, arts programs, and other engaging, substance-free activities provides positive outlets for young people's energy and creativity. It's about giving them something exciting and fulfilling to do instead. Pathways to help and recovery. For those who are already struggling with substance use, it's essential to know that help is available and recovery is a powerful, achievable journey. Talking to a trusted adult. For young people, the very first step is often to confide in someone they trust: a parent, another family member, a teacher, a coach, a school counselor, or a religious leader. This person can help them figure out the next steps and connect them with resources: school counselors, nurses, social workers. These professionals within the school system are often excellent first points of contact. They can provide initial support, offer guidance, and connect students to outside resources while maintaining confidentiality. Mental health professionals, therapists, psychologists, and psychiatrists who specialize in adolescent mental health and addiction can provide individual and family therapy, helping to address underlying issues and develop coping strategies. Support groups, groups like Alatain for teens affected by another's drinking, Al-Anon for friends and family of alcoholics, and Narcotics Anonymous, in A, for those struggling with drug use, offer a safe, anonymous space to share experiences and find peer support. The power of hearing "me too" from someone who truly understands is immense. Treatment programs. For more severe cases, there are various treatment options. From outpatient programs, where a young person attends therapy and groups while living at home, to inpatient residential programs, where they live in a structured environment for a period. These programs provide intensive therapy, medical support, and a supportive environment for recovery. The power of recovery and second chances. It's crucial to remember that addiction is a complex disease, not a moral failing. Recovery is a process, not a single event, and it involves relapses and setbacks for many. But with consistent support, dedication, and the right tools, recovery is absolutely possible. It means reclaiming your life, your potential, and your future. It means getting a second, third, or even fourth chance, because every chance to heal is worth it. The journey to recovery, relapse, resilience, and hope. We've talked about what substance use looks like, why it happens, and how to start finding help. Now, let's talk about the journey that comes after that initial step, the path of recovery. It's crucial to understand that this path is rarely a straight line. It's more like a winding road, sometimes with bumps, sometimes with unexpected turns, but always moving forward if we keep our eyes on the destination. This is the journey of recovery, of relapse, resilience, and unwavering hope. The reality of recovery. It's not a straight line. When we talk about recovery from substance use, it's vital to let go of the idea that it's a simple, one-and-done fix. Imagine trying to learn a new skill, like playing a musical instrument or speaking a new language. You have good days, and you have days where you feel like you're taking 2 steps back, right? Recovery is often like that, but with much higher stakes. For many, relapse is a part of the recovery process, not a sign of failure. It's a setback, a moment where old coping mechanisms or cravings resurface. It doesn't erase all the progress made, nor does it mean the person isn't committed to healing. Instead, it's often a signal that more support is needed, or that a strategy needs to be adjusted. If someone falls while learning to walk, we don't say they've failed walking forever. We help them up and encourage them to try again. The same goes for recovery. It's a learning process. Understanding this takes immense pressure off both the individual in recovery and their loved ones. It replaces shame with compassion and judgment with understanding. It allows for honest conversations about what went wrong and how to move forward. The importance of ongoing support and building resilience. Because recovery is a journey, ongoing support is absolutely essential. This isn't something someone can or should do alone. It's like building a strong bridge. It needs continuous maintenance and reinforcement. This means consistent engagement with therapy, whether it's individual counseling to explore underlying issues or group therapy, where shared experiences foster a powerful sense of community and reduce isolation. It means regular participation in support groups like Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, where the wisdom and shared strength of peers who truly get it provide an invaluable lifeline. For adolescents, this also means continued family support. A family that remains patient, understanding, and committed to learning new ways of interacting, even when things are tough, is a huge pillar of strength. This might involve family therapy, where everyone learns to communicate more effectively and heal together. Building resilience through setbacks is a core part of this journey. Every challenge, every difficult craving, every moment of doubt, or even a relapse can become an opportunity for growth. It's about learning from what happened, identifying triggers, developing new coping strategies, and emerging stronger. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about learning how to get back up, dusting yourself off, and trying again with renewed determination. It's about finding that inner spark of strength, even when things feel darkest. The hope for a fulfilling and authentic life. Ultimately, the journey to recovery is driven by the profound hope for a fulfilling and authentic life. This isn't just about stopping substance use. It's about building a life so rich, so meaningful, and so vibrant that substances simply lose their appeal. It's about rediscovering passions, forging genuine connections, setting and achieving goals, and nurturing a strong, healthy sense of self. It's about finding true joy in sober living, realizing that the temporary escape of substances pales in comparison to the lasting satisfaction of genuine accomplishment and real relationships. The strength and courage it takes to pursue recovery are immense. It means facing discomfort, confronting difficult emotions, and making profound changes. It means choosing vulnerability over hiding and hard work over easy answers. But the payoff is a life reclaimed, a future rediscovered, and the profound freedom that comes with being truly in control of your own choices and your own destiny. For every adolescent on this path, and for those who walk alongside them, remember, recovery is absolutely possible. It's a testament to the incredible human capacity for healing, for growth, and for finding light even after navigating the darkest of paths. It is a continuous journey, but it leads to a life of profound meaning and limitless potential. Conclusion: a future built on health and hope. We've reached the end of our conversation, and I want to thank you for walking this path with me today. We've explored the challenging yet vital topic of substance use among adolescents, understanding the allure, the growing trends, the profound impacts, and most importantly, the clear pathways to prevention, support, and the ongoing journey of recovery. It's a complex story, yes, but it's ultimately a story of resilience, responsibility, and unwavering hope. We've seen that substance use is rarely a simple, bad choice. It's often a complex interplay of curiosity, peer pressure, coping mechanisms, and misinformation, impacting young people during a highly vulnerable stage of development. But we've also discovered that understanding these factors empowers us as individuals, families, and communities to build stronger safety nets and support the continuous path of healing. So what can we take away from this? First, if you are an adolescent listening right now, please hear this truth deep in your soul. Your well-being is precious. Your future is bright, and it is worth protecting. You are stronger than you know, and you are worthy of health, happiness, and genuine connection that doesn't rely on substances. If you are struggling, or if you're on the path of recovery, please reach out. There are so many people who care and who can help. You are not alone. Second, for parents, guardians, educators, and anyone who cares about young people, be the guide, be the safety net. Educate yourself. Talk openly and honestly, without judgment. Listen with your heart. Set clear boundaries and consistent expectations. Model healthy coping. And never hesitate to seek professional help for yourself or for the young people in your care. Your love and vigilance can literally change a life. Every open conversation, every informed choice, every act of support, and every step taken on the path of recovery builds a stronger, healthier world for our young people. Let's make sure that for every adolescent, their future is not overshadowed by substances, but illuminated by their full potential, their authentic joy, and the boundless opportunities that come with a life built on health and hope. Deep Research Canvas image.